This lesson is on the past continuous tense. The learning aims are to understand how to form the past continuous tense, to explore how this tense is used, and it's used in quite a few different ways, including figures of speech, which are interesting, so we'll look at those, and to practice forming the tense. There are some simple rules for this, and there are 6 activities for you to try during this lesson. So if you'd like to get some paper or an exercise book and a pen and try those, I would encourage you to do so, because it's in practicing forming this tense that you will really get the hang of it. Little starter here for you to have a go at. I'll give you a moment for this. Did you manage to unscramble them? So the first one is past, this one is present, and this one is future. And the different tenses are different ways of referring to events in relation to now. So is the event happening now in the present tense? Will it happen in the future? Or did it happen in the past? The past continuous tense is used to talk about an ongoing activity that took place in the past. So it happened in the past before now, but it went on for a while, the past continuous. For example, I was running in the park. They were cutting the cake. She was playing tennis. This tense uses a subject, so I or you or she or he or they or we, and the appropriate past tense form of the verb to be. So for first or third person singular, it's was. I was, she was, he was. In every other case, it's were. So we were, you were, they were. And this tense uses the ing form of the verb. So running, cutting, playing in these examples. Okay, activity 1, have a go at these. For the following, write down the ing form of the verb in brackets. There's a sentence here, and this verb in brackets is in the infinitive form, and you need to change it to the ing form. And you don't need to write down this whole sentence, just write down the correct inflection of this verb. A, he was something along in his Ferrari, then he saw a parking space. B, she was for a bus when a Ferrari parked opposite the bus stop. C, she was a picture when there was a knock at the door. D, we were through your town and we thought we would come to see you. Okay, let's go over the answers. So A was driving along in his Ferrari. B, she was waiting for a bus. C, she was painting a picture. D, we were passing through your town. The past continuous tense can be used to describe an action that was occurring before another action took place. And the second action uses the past simple form. So in this example, they were cooking. This is the past continuous tense. When the doorbell rang. And the doorbell rang is the past simple. So this was happening and then something else happened. Or in this other example, they were talking for ages, then they struck a deal. Activity 2. For the following, add the correct past tense form of the verb to be, the ing form of the verb for the action using the past continuous tense. So you need to use the ing form of the verb, which is given in brackets here. And then the past simple form of this verb at the end. So for A, he, something, something, tricks on his skateboard, then his phone, something. B, we basketball when the sky dark. C, she to serve for the match when somebody Okay, let's go over the answers for this. So A, he was doing tricks on his skateboard, then his phone rang, the past simple form of the verb ring. B, we were playing basketball when the sky grew dark. So grew, the past simple form of the verb grow. C, she was preparing to serve for the match when somebody sneezed. The past continuous tense can be used for events which happened again and again. For example, my bike was always getting a puncture. So it happened more than once. Or the boss was always shouting. And in this example, it's used to describe someone's annoying habit. And there's a bit of a judgment there about what that was like. The boss was always shouting. And he was practicing regularly, getting ready for the big show. So he was practicing more than once, practicing regularly, getting ready for the big show. Okay, activity 3, look at these pictures. For each one, add the correct past tense form of the verb to be, and then a suitable verb which uses the ing form. So for A, she, something, something, in a bar over the summer. What could be missing there? She, something, something, in a bar over the summer. B, the lead singer always C, he to work each day on an elephant. Okay, let's go over some solutions to these. A, she was working in a bar over the summer. So the working was taking place on more than one occasion. B, the lead singer was always shouting. You can see in the picture there he's shouting into his microphone. C, he was travelling, or you could have a synonym for travelling like riding, to work each day on an elephant. The past continuous tense can be used to describe a continuing action that was occurring at a specific time. So it was 8 o'clock. I was driving to work. On Tuesday at 5 o'clock, she was walking home. Activity 4. For each of the following, add the time on the clock face. So it's 3 times here that you need to look at and give. The correct past tense form of the verb to be, and the ing form of the verb. And the verb is given here in its infinitive form in brackets, so you need to change that to the ing form. So A, yesterday at I something something football. B, this morning at you to work. C, last night at she her niece from ballet practice. Okay, let's look at some answers. So A, yesterday at 8 o'clock, I was playing football. B, this morning at 7 o'clock, you were driving to work. C, last night at 8:30, or you could have 8:30, she was collecting her niece from ballet practice. The past continuous tense can be used to describe several actions that were happening at the same time. For example, I was reading while Mum and Dad were watching television. Or Ellie was playing hockey while her sister was sitting an exam. And notice we've got the word while in between these two ongoing events. The past continuous can also be used to show change or growth. This is sort of a figure of speech. For example, her piano playing was improving. The guinea pigs were growing. Activity 5. For the following, add the correct past tense forms of the verb to be. There are a couple in each sentence. And the ing form of the verbs. So A, I something something while my brother something something football. B, you while I see it while we down the cliff. D, we while the chef. E, the children up so quickly. Okay, let's look at some answers for activity 5. A, I was skydiving while my brother was playing football. B, you were cycling while I was walking. C. It was raining while we were abseiling down the cliff. D. We were talking while the chef was cooking. And E. The children were growing up so quickly. The past continuous tense can be used to introduce a story. For example, the birds were singing, the sun was rising, and fog was resting in the valley. All of a sudden, and then here would be the event at the start of the story. So it's used to set the scene, to give some ongoing actions that were happening before describing an event that takes place. Activity 6, see if you can come up with the first paragraphs of 4 stories based on the 4 pictures below. For each one, start with at least 2 sentences which use the past continuous tense. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Please subscribe to this channel and do share this resource if you found it useful. That would be great.